Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 15th day of July, 2022, Friday of the 15th week of the year, but also today it is the feast, not the memorial as it sometimes is, or as it is in the rest of the church's calendar, but it is the feast of St. Bonaventure, the bishop, the great Franciscan scholar, who is first before John Duns Scotus, and then the other Franciscan scholars who follow afterwards, so including me. Today is St. Bonaventure's Day, so a blessed Bonaventure Day to everybody, especially to those friars at St. Bonaventure University, south of Buffalo, New York. This is Switzerland a little bit. This is where we have landed. It is very early in the morning because we are making our way now to Munich, and we have to get up and we have to leave. So the full moon behind me, which was full, I think, on the 13th, and now 2 days later, it's still a little bit full. But sunrise is still coming up here where we end our Rhine trip. The Rhine, again, has a source in Switzerland, and so it is good. We are in the city of Basel, and so making our way from Basel now via train to Munich, and then all the sites that we will see in Munich. Today's readings, Isaiah. The first thing about it is that a poultice of figs can cure boils. Didn't realize that, so that's something to think about. So if you ever have a boil, use smashed figs and put it over it. I guess it cures it. But Hezekiah has not been a very good king, and again, he had made terrible alliances with the empire of Assyria, and now Assyria is coming to destroy it, and God says, I have no more need of you, I'm going to kill you, your days are done. And Hezekiah basically pleads with God to try to make amends and try to fix things and try to be healed and what have you, and God allows that to happen. Again, the sense in which God's judgments are not necessarily, as it seems in Isaiah, all and done. That again, the showing of contrition, the showing of the desire to transform, to reform, to whatever, is enough to allow God to choose a different course with humanity. And that is what happens with Hezekiah. Hezekiah asks for proof, and again, that's kind of the weird thing, that Hezekiah still will not believe that God can do wonderful things, because again, Hezekiah believes perhaps in a God of judgment and punishment, as unfortunately we too many times believe today, only in a God of judgment and punishment, and that is not the God that is ever revealed to Israel or through Jesus of Nazareth. So the sign that is given to Hezekiah is having the sun move back some steps as it is progressing during the day, and it happens, and Hezekiah believes. So there you go. The point of the matter, though, is, again, God in some ways changes God's own mind. God decides on something, but then when there is repentance, when there is a desire for transformation, for reform, God allows that to take place, and a new future, a new horizon, a new avenue may be laid out before us. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily work well for Israel. It still is destroyed by Assyria, and again, the 10 tribes are carted off and never heard from again. But at least we have this sort of moment in which things can be different, and perhaps we should be focusing more on what can be different in our lives than perhaps what is not good, and what is troublesome, and what is sad. In Matthew's Gospel today, the Pharisees are contending with Jesus and the apostles because they seem to be breaking the laws of the Sabbath, which means that you don't pick food, you can eat, but you don't prepare food, you don't do anything to make the food into what it is that you're going to eat. It should be prepared beforehand. And so the disciples are eating grain or picking grain, and the Pharisees do not like that. And again, here is where Jesus says, again, what is the point of the Sabbath? The Sabbath is not to do nothing. The Sabbath is not necessarily even, in some ways, to honor God ritually or liturgically. The Sabbath is to enjoy what God has given, because that is what God does on that seventh day of creation. God rests to enjoy what God has created, and God found very good. It is not necessarily about honoring God with, bad singing, bad praying, and just lumping into Mass. It is enjoying this world around us, the wonder and beauty of this world around us, and seeing what it is that the great gift, and seeing that great gift that is what God has given to us in creation. Jesus impresses that upon the Pharisees, who are more worried again about rules and regulations and not about what it is that God can do for us, because we cannot do it for ourselves. To be focused more upon that gives us insight and to wonder and to beauty in life, and gives us a life that is rich and full, a life that is transformative, a life that allows life to move through us and within us, a life that gives health and beauty and wonder to others. And may the Lord give you his peace.